All right, welcome back. I gave you a sheet, or you got this from your teacher, percent applications. We were talking about markup and markdowns. This also applies to tips, commissions, sales price, discounts, when you're looking for a profit. So the first one, I started to do it, and then I noticed that I didn't have it in the screen, so I went ahead and redid it. But I've been given, it was a sales price of an item was $52, and the regular price was $80. And remember that when we did our strip diagram, right, the 80 and the 52, that's right, the two will add up to 80, okay? What I'm more concerned about is what percent of the regular price is the discount. I want to know what percent. So first I need to find either this or this. So I'm going to set it up as a tic-tac-toe. And I have my new and I have my old, okay? Always 100, especially when we're working with percent. Sorry, wrong one. So I'm looking for my sales price, or my sales percent, sorry. My new price is 52. My old price was 80. Okay? Oh, sorry. So, can I reduce? Absolutely. Go ahead and do this. Divide both by 10. I can also reduce horizontally again. I can reduce by, that's right, by 2. Right, 2 gives me a 4. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Now remember, another common multiple would have been 20, which would have been a little bit easier. Okay. We can also reduce vertically. Both numbers, the greatest common factor is 4. So 52 divided by 4 is actually 13. 4 divided by 4 is 1. If you are not comfortable with this reduction or reducing, you can always multiply these numbers, but I do recommend at least doing the zeros because you're going to get really, really big numbers and the math gets a little bit more difficult. So I'm at the point now where I can cross multiply. So I take my 13 times 5 is equal to, because remember this, the product of these two numbers is equal, that's what a proportion is, to the product of the other two. And I don't have to show that one. And 13 times 5, do the math, is, see if anybody can guess, 65. And what that means is it's in my percent column is where my variable was. So that means that the new price is 65% of the original price, okay? So what was the actual discount? The 65%, both of these have to add up to 100. So that means that I had a 35% discount. So what that means is that if I were to put 28 here, right, that would actually be 35% of the original amount. Okay? So just keep that in mind. What are you looking for? Are you looking for the markdown or the discount? Or are you actually looking for the new price? Okay? All right, let's look at commission, which is the next one. So this is very common. Sometimes a car salesman, a furniture salesman, they usually have a base salary, but then they earn commission, which is usually off of their sales. They want to make sure that they're selling as far as the incentive, and that's why commission is a popular way to pay. So what was the total earnings? Okay, so I need to add his salary. I'm going to go to my scratch. 550 plus 183.50, and you notice that I lined it up here because this doesn't show a decimal, but I'm going to add a decimal and 2 zeros. 3, 13, carrier 1, so $733.50. Okay. What they want to know is they're looking for the commission, which was 20%. Okay, so we need to, his salary was $550, and then his commission was $183, so they gave that in the problem. Okay, so they want to know what his total sales were, which is 20% of whatever he sold, right? So remember that when we're doing that strip diagram, we would actually be finding 20%. Or actually, hold on, I'll show you. So they gave us 20% out of 100. And they told us what that amount was. Oops, sorry. Okay. We're looking for what his sales were. So his total sales and his commission. Okay. So remember that in the tic-tac-toe, I can always, well, actually, I have a greatest common factor of 20 here. 20 divided by 20 is 1. 100 divided by 20 is 5. And now that my 1 is directly diagonal from my x, I can go ahead and cross multiply. Okay, so 5 times 183.50 is equal to 1x. So, do my scratch. Let's do it together. 183 times 5. 5 times 0, oh, sorry. 5 times 5 is 25, carry your 2, 15, 17, carry your 1. 8 times 5 is 40, plus my 1 is 41. And you have $917. Oops, sorry. Oh, I didn't do that one earlier. So $917.50. Okay, would be my total sales. Okay, so what that means, remember that I was finding 20%. Okay, so what if I were looking for his commission, right? My X would be here, and they would have had to have given me this total, okay? Now, I could, what would, let's see. No, I'm not going to go down that route. All right, so the next one is very similar. You're going to be finding 28% commission on, they give you the sales, okay, and you actually have to find the commission. So your variable will be in a different location, okay? All right, let's look at tax. All right, you have a total cost. For simplicity, cross out this $4.99. We're just going to put $5 each, okay? So your total cost of the 2 magazines is $10. Your tax rate is 8%. So they're looking for what is your total cost, because remember, tax is on top of, it's going to be extra. You don't take it off. It's not a discount. Uncle Sam has to earn his money. So your cost is $10, and I need to find out what 8% is because I'm going to pay above and beyond. So what was my total cost, okay? All right. So when you are finding, we need to know what the tax is. Okay, so I need to find out what 8% is out of 10. Okay, this is my total cost, and I'm looking for the tax. That's right, you can reduce, actually, they both have a common factor of 10, don't they? So 100 divided by 10 is 10, and 10 divided by 10 is 1. And I'm looking for what the tax is. So now, can I reduce any more? Sure I can. So I can divide by 2, would give me 4, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. Okay, this one's a little trickier. Now I don't have a number across from my x, but I still need to cross multiply. So 1 times 4 is equal to 5x. So I need to divide both sides by 5. Okay. X is equal to, what is 4/5? That's right. Once you do top dog, it's going to be 0.80. Be 80 cents. Okay. And I know a lot of you, there's a quicker way, which is you just multiply to find the tax. It's your original, you convert it to a decimal and multiply. Okay. Now, this 80 cents, do we add on to my original cost? Okay. And another way to set that up, if you're doing tax, and a couple of you are like, how does that work, Ms. Kowalski? Why would I do this if I want to find out my total cost? This was my cost, and this is my cost with tax. Why did I make it 108%? That's right. 100% includes my original cost plus the tax. So I just turned a two-step problem here because I have to add it back, right? Equals $10.80. So I can divide. Can I reduce again? Sure, but not by 10. So this gets a little bit trickier when